Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski on this Monday morning as we start things off very quiet, clear, and cold this morning with a light west and northwest wind. Those winds will turn more west and southwesterly as the day goes on, and they'll pick up a bit, becoming rather breezy as a cold front begins to approach up north. Start to see a few clouds in advance of it, and then along with that front coming through, the winds are going to crank up as they turn more north and northwesterly. Some of the strongest winds, I'll even back up here, will be right after that front passes through, right here. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, we may see some wind gusts over parts of the area, especially northeast Nebraska, maybe up to as high as 40 miles per hour during the overnight hours. As we progress towards tomorrow morning, they'll die down a little bit, but there's still going to be some pretty strong winds over eastern portions of Nebraska. But notice they get lighter to the west, very light winds closer to the front, which will eventually kind of stall out and almost become a warm front out west. But it will be a reinforcing shot of cold air and some strong winds to go along with it. Now, the strongest winds tomorrow morning, they will gradually die down tomorrow afternoon as high pressure builds in from the southwest. As that high pressure builds in about 5 o'clock here, this is really going to kill off our winds. So the winds will be light. That's the good news for the trick-or-treaters heading out. The bad news, it's going to be a colder day out there tomorrow and a colder evening as well. A few passing clouds tomorrow evening. Otherwise, a warm front will begin to move in from the west, and that warm front is going to eventually usher in some nicer temperatures towards the middle and end of next week. So temperatures out there for today, topping out in the 40s, which is an improvement on the weekend. Low 40s in the northeast, upper 40s to near 50 over southwestern areas. We'll shoot for mid 40s in the Tri-Cities area. Tonight's temperatures dipping back into the teens and lower 20s. So another cold night out there with that cold air coming back in from the north, and the winds will make it feel colder, especially for folks in eastern Nebraska. Those winds are going to be strong. Tomorrow's temperatures only in the 30s for highs. Some lower 40s here to the south and west, struggling to 30 in O'Neill. And then factoring in the winds, especially in the morning, it is not going to be a real pleasant morning out there. And then by tomorrow evening for those trick-or-treaters, and this is a Tri-City specific forecast, but you kind of know where you live. If you live in the local 4 viewing area, if you live to the north, it's probably going to be a few degrees colder. You live to the west or southwest, probably a few degrees warmer. But this, for the Tri-Cities, kiddos need to be bundled up. I know it's not fun putting on heavy jackets and heavy coats and mittens and hats with costumes, but got to do it sometimes here. So it is going to be cold. It's going to be quiet, and the winds should be fairly light as well. They should not be a big issue out there for tomorrow evening. It's just going to be cold. That's the best way to put it. Tomorrow night's lows as we get towards Wednesday morning down into the upper teens, low to mid 20s. Starting to warm up out west, and you'll see those highs warming up a little bit more on Wednesday. Still some places in the upper 40s here to the north and northeast, even mid 40s in northeast Nebraska. Otherwise 50s for most of us, upper 50s to the southwest. It is going to get better as we move into November here. That first day of November, we'll go 54 in the Tri-Cities. A very similar temperature for your day on Thursday, maybe a couple of more clouds around. And then we start seeing lower 60s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And temperatures for lows will be down in the 30s, which will be an improvement as well. There will be a few more clouds around as we get into the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. Up north, northern Nebraska, maybe some light moisture by Friday, but I don't think most of us will see moisture. In fact, this would be great for those that are still trying to get the crops out of the fields, those farmers out there in the combines. Well, the weather should be pretty ideal for that here in the week ahead as things dry out here. So that's the good news. Let's look at the long-range forecast. We're going to keep the mild weather going right into the beginning of next week, although temperatures may come down a little bit as we look towards about next Tuesday and Wednesday. It could be back down into the lower and mid-50s there at that time frame. Let's take a look at some other graphics here real quick. Here is the long-range models. Not a lot to show you the next couple of days. There's the cold front tonight right there. Pretty quiet weather, just a couple of passing clouds later in the week. I mentioned Friday, maybe some moisture in northern Nebraska. I don't think we'll see a whole lot. It's a little iffy right now. I didn't throw it in the forecast. It looks like it'd be pretty weak anyway, not much. The weekend, pretty quiet. And then here comes that shot of colder air probably around that Monday, Tuesday time frame. Right there, but not much moisture even in there. So there you go, and that takes us through next Tuesday. Let's go with the GFS model. Again, here comes the cold front tonight right there. Otherwise, pretty quiet weather. A few extra clouds later in the week, but not too many. And as we get towards the weekend, again, Friday, first off, again, we'll see. Kind of iffy on the moisture chances right now, so I didn't include anything in the forecast. And then next week, maybe cooling down around that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, right in there. We'll see. A long ways out yet. So, but pretty inactive weather over the next at least 4 or 5 days here. Maybe something this weekend, but not much here. But I think the next 7 days or so, we'll be looking at pretty quiet weather overall as we start to bring back some better fall temperatures as we look down the road towards the first weekend of November. Right now, the preliminary forecast for Saturday looks dry for East Lansing, Michigan, for the Nebraska-Michigan State game. I think the storm that's supposed to come in looks like it might come in more towards Saturday night and Sunday, so it shouldn't miss, but that's an early forecast. So. All right, I want to thank you all for watching. I am going to be back with you on Friday. David will be filming in for me for the next couple of days, so until then, take care, enjoy your day, enjoy your next several days, and see you in November. God bless. Bye.